excited to be here to play in Louisville. I think the team has prepared well. It's been very intense last couple of weeks, and here we are again on the road. But I think the team is ready, is prepared. Um, we're confident. At the same time, we know that we play a very, very good side. We can see that now Bev is obviously doing a fantastic job there with Cam and they're getting the team together. I think they got some key players back in now, and we can see that obviously fantastic performance last week in Houston and some good result as well in Portland. So it's going to be a difficult challenge, but I think the team is in good spirits. I think this league is starting to shape a little bit more like the old NWSL, where there is a lot of equality and you have to be on top of things. I think when we look at the form of the last 5 games, we are at the top of the table in those 5 games, and we want to make sure that we can keep that form going. I think it's very important, that stability, but it's at a very difficult place. I think obviously Louisville is going to be looking forward to play at home, and we hope to get the 3 points, of course.
Great. We'll kick things off with Anthony.
Hey, Coach. Anthony Merced with AJM FC Sports. You mentioned it a little bit before about how the team doesn't want to necessarily look at where the standings are, and that every team there's a lot of parity within the league. How do you prepare for a team that knows that they need a win versus your team, which has been very comfortable with their recent results?
Well, I think that probably Louisville is also comfortable with the recent results. No, they got a better result than us last weekend. So I think in this league it's always about the next game. I think it's very important to try to be consistent to the way we operate and work. Is we try to exploit our weapons, our tools to be dominant in the game. I think it won't be different this time. Obviously, Louisville presents certain things that are very specific to them, no? With like, I think Fisher is doing a great job up top in the hold-up play, and obviously they go key players on Emma Sears, and now with the Melo back, obviously Flint is always a player that is important. I think every team try to play their game, and it will be a question of how we can be the team that end up being at the top and dominant in that game. Difficult place to come. I think Friday night games are always a little bit special in under the lights, and the players love that. So I think it will be a very interesting challenge for sure.
Up next, we'll go with Sean.
Coach, thank you for your time today. Sean Suckling on the magazine. Big story, of course, league-wide, and because of her stature there, really worldwide in WOSO. All of her goals. What do you think is not really allowing this to happen, but what changes have you seen with her, possibly how she's getting the ball from the other players, whatever the case may be, that's allowed her to be on such a hot streak and getting multiple goal games as well?
Well, I think it's the first thing with Esther is always the effort that she does without the ball, and not only when we are in the team in our structure side or defensive side, but also like when we are actually attacking, and her movement. I think it's very, very important of how intelligent she is. And when we are able to obviously find her or create chances for her, we know that there is a big possibility that she puts them away. So I think it's a question of chemistry with the teammates, even if obviously we've had to change now, no, with Gabby B now, and then now Jace, Mitch coming in, Ella in and out, Jess coming in and out of the team as well. It's been a bit difficult, but I think the understanding between her and the teammates is growing, and I think it's very obvious that probably Esther is one of the best strikers in the world in terms of converting the chances that are created for her or that she creates for herself. So yeah, I think it's something that we're really looking forward to see how we can hopefully execute tomorrow again. She loves to score not only one but 2 goals, so I hope that she can do it again, of course.
Great. Jenna, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Coach, for taking the time.
Always.
Well, so Peyton isn't here, so I have to ask if there's any injury updates, particularly with Jess Carter, Rose Lavelle. Any chance we might see them this weekend or the near future?
Well, with Rose, she's doing well, but I don't think she's gonna be ready for this game. Yeah, I think yes, it's looking better than last week. But obviously, so we will be a player as well that we still need to wait and see. We have to train today here. It's been a difficult year in terms of availability. Obviously, we also have had like obviously Jess Silva and. Lately, we've also been missing Mandy, and a couple of games ago we were missing Ella. Like it's been tough on top of obviously Tierna's injury. But one thing that I'm very confident and very proud is that every time there is let's say a problem, we focus on the solution. The players do that. The players have been outstanding at filling in on different roles. We could see, again last week, Neely playing the five, now the left side center back, and we were able to keep a clean sheet. I think we had one shot on target throughout 90 minutes, very low expected goals from the opposition. So I think that for us is something we take a lot of pride, and it's not been easy, but the way the players are reacting to it and doing the job at that very high level despite the difficulties is something to be proud of, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I wanted to ask about Esther, something that I've noticed that she does a lot in addition to just, being an exceptional striker, is she does a lot of tracking back to defend and winning the ball back and bringing it back. Is that just part of the way that you play, or is that just something that like she does, what she feels out during a game?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think the way we want to play is for us, our forwards are our first defenders. I think our forwards take a lot of pride when the team doesn't concede goals because it's one of our targets. And on top of that, if we are able to do that, then them scoring a goal means that we're winning the game. No, so they're very committed to do that. We have a very clear way of defending with our structure, what are the roles and responsibilities, how we need to fill in the gaps when a teammate is not there, or when we have to do extra efforts. And I think that Esther is, the prime example of that, like how she sacrificed herself on the press and coming back and helping. And I think that's very, very important for the team, because when you have forwards that work hard, and that's something that we've seen obviously with Ella, with Jace now, with Mitch, like everyone needs to really push together in that defensive side in order for the team to be successful. And that's something we definitely take a lot of pride on. No?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jenna.
Anthony, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. So we just recently spoke with Sofia Cook about the team and about her how she got here. She mentioned a lot about how your tactics and the way you are as a coach was really something that she liked, and how happy she is to be in your system. Speak about her if you can, and about what she could bring to the team moving forward, and especially with her enthusiasm and also her talent.
Yeah, well, I think Sofia was a very special player that we had kind of under control from the college game, and then when it came to the process of recruitment, I think when we met, she was fantastic. She's a student of the game. She was talking to me about our tactics and how we do things and how she really enjoyed the way we play on the ball and without the ball. And for me, that was very important because obviously that showed me that she had the interest and the knowledge, and also that she's passionate about it, and she knew where she was. If finally we were gonna finalize it, that she was going to come to somewhere where she also knew that it was going to be the right place for her. And she's got a special ability. I think Sofia Cook is is a bit funny because she also speaks Spanish. I think her mom is Argentinian, and she's got some connections with Spain. We were talking because of her way of playing that we could feel that she played some futsal as a kid. Well, she's still very young, but like she played a lot of futsal, and that's something I think it opens your technical ability, it opens the way you see the game. For example, it's something that Rose used to do quite a lot. Obviously, Esther, players that have been in other countries, they do very often. And I think she's very, very special. The more you guys start seeing her, she does things to connect, to play forward, to be able to link units and link play. That is very interesting. And also is a player that is good going, towards the final third. They will take some time because we all know that the physical demands of our league are very different to the physical demands of college, and there are some players that are more prepared and some players that are a bit less prepared for it. But I think the future, the present and the future of Sofia is very, very exciting, and we're very happy and proud that we are together on this journey, you know.
Sean, we'll kick things over to you.
Again, thank you. Coach, you touched on, and I believe the phrase you used was players in and out. You mentioned a number of players, which basically that's a starting 11 in any league in the world. When the players come back, when everyone's healthy, you then have the best of problems, and you're smiling because you know it is the best of problems.
Yeah.
How do you make this work? Because you can't play 2 games at once. And you just the roster is dotted with stars at all levels.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we're not gonna have everyone back because obviously Tierna is a very important player for us that probably is gonna miss the majority of the year. But you know, I don't honestly, with my experience in football and in America, like you need to be preparing game by game. It's very difficult to be thinking how you want things to look because you probably will get frustrated because there are things that you can't control. What you can control is what you do every day to try to get to that place, to try to protect the players, and be as competitive as possible. So I think that the moment is a good question, but it's something that honestly I haven't been thinking about because sometimes you just need to go game by game, see how the team is feeling, see what's the loadings that they can manage, see how they are physically, how is the performance level, commitment, attitude. So it's a very complex situation, but of course I hope we go Rose, that is a very important player for us that still hasn't been able to play for us. Then we go Mitch, that is obviously coming back, hopefully getting close to at some point start a game. Jace is still adapting. You know, we have players there that now we're missing Gabby. You know, it's a long process, but what I can say is that I'm very proud of how the team is reacting, pushing, and working hard together to go through the challenges and being in the position we are in is credit to all of them for the effort that they are doing because they're really, they're really pushing. I think that week away was super hard physically, mentally, and coming back on the back of that with all those points and still put a good performance against Chicago and, like on the back of beating North Carolina. I think the team is really pushing to be the best they can be and the present is exciting and the future even more. You know?
All right, and we'll wrap things up with Anthony.
So, Coach, looking forward to this week, and Louisville and the travel. What are you looking your team to accomplish? Not talking about, obviously you want to win. What are you looking to see from your team on the field tactically?
Well, I think we need to continue our defensive work. I think we've been really good if we are able to stop their transitions and be switched on set pieces. I think hopefully we can control them. I think for us it's always a big target to keep a clean sheet. We take a lot of pride on doing that, and if we can do that and be a little bit sharper towards the goal, that probably was something that we were missing last week. I think that we will, that we got a good chance to win. I think we want to be exciting with the ball. We want to make sure that we have different tools to penetrate the opposition. We're working on a lot of different things to make sure that we can do that. And yeah, I think it's that those are the targets for the game. So hopefully we can perform difficult plays. I think in Louisville as well, when they get the fans in, it's a difficult, it's a difficult environment, but it's something that we love and we thrive. So yeah, honestly, I can't wait for the game. It's exciting.
Before that, though, Sofia, talk to us about making your professional and Gotham FC debut last time out against Chicago, and now looking ahead to Louisville on the road.
Yeah, I was really excited to make my debut. I was out with an injury for a minute, a muscle strain, and so that was hard, but I was working really hard to get back. Eric, Scott, Megs, Haley were super helpful in getting me strong and fit and ready. And then, yeah, I was just so excited. And when I was out there on the field, it was really fun. And I can't wait to do it again and keep playing.
Awesome. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, please use the raise a hand function and we will call on you. We will start things off with Anthony.
Hi, Sophia. Anthony Merced with AJM Sports FC. You are in such a great position to be surrounded by such great talent and with a lot of experience. What's it like being in those training sessions and being able to learn from those people? How has it been and how welcoming have they been to you?
Yeah, everyone's been super welcoming, super helpful. Being able to speak Spanish, I can like talk to the internationals. So like getting to learn from Esther is just like awesome, like one of the best in the world. And yeah, like if I ever have any questions at practice, like don't understand anything, I just ask and everyone's super helpful in directing. Their communication is super clear and they clearly know what they're talking about and it helps me on the field. So yeah, I love it.
Sean, you're next.
¿Cómo está? This is Sean from Soccer Long Island Magazine. Just a few questions. I mean, you were with a top college team. You helped them advance well into the playoffs with a goal. You have one player that played alongside you, but the adjustment coming from, even though it's again a top NC2A program to a professional one, with the demands of your time, everything is a lot more closely monitored. Not just your time, what you're eating, everything else. The team has other demands beyond what the school team would have, as far as the travel is a lot more now, a lot more games, and diet is monitored a lot better. How has that adjustment been for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been like it's more difficult than college, but I think college has prepared me well. I mean, when we transitioned to Big Ten, I thought it was going to be a lot of travel, but this is a lot different. So, yeah, but I feel like college has prepared me. Like the trainings are just like it takes like a little more mentally, I feel like, just because it's a higher level, but everyone once again has been super welcoming, so I feel like I can really dial in. And then yeah, like the staff here is super helpful. So just learning about like my eating habits, like taking protein supplements, like getting the work done in the gym. Everyone has like made it super clear and helpful what I can do. So I feel like the transition has been hard, but I've been able to adapt and everyone has helped me out.
Jenna, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Hi, Sophia. Jenna Tonelli with Sports Illustrated. Nice to meet you. And congrats on making your debut the other day. I know that was a long time coming. I wanted to actually ask you about Esther. I know you just mentioned her, and unfortunately, you haven't gotten to play with her a ton yet. But just what has it been like for you and your teammates just to see what a tear she's been on, leading the Golden Boot race? Like what about her makes her so special, and how's it been like to watch her thrive this season?
It's been amazing. Yeah, I just every time I see her, I'm like, no one can take the ball from her. Like she's just, and also she's just so smart. Like if you see like the runs she makes, like when she checks, like her positioning is so great. And yeah, before every game, like I'm like, okay, you had a brace last game. Like I want 3 goals now, like not just two. So yeah, but she just yeah, and then when she scores the first one, I'm like, all right, like the second one's coming, like it's coming. But yeah, she's just so awesome. And yeah, that just like practices, like she like has helped direct me, like given me tips. And when she talks, I listen because I'm like, this is gonna help me. But yeah, I love her. She's a great person. And yeah, I just can't wait to see her keep scoring and taking people down.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of a random question, but I'm curious, as a rookie, the NWSL has now been around for quite some time. Like you kind of grew up knowing that this league was there. I'm just curious kind of what your experience was, growing up. Did you watch the NWSL? Like when you were in college, did you watch it? And just kind of how was it knowing that as you progress like through college, like this was an option, like always just knowing this was an option for you to go pro, whereas some of your teammates, kind of have been here for a long time and didn't have that. It's just like kind of an interesting, difference in career paths.
No, yeah, I come my dad like got me into soccer. So when I was younger, I watched mostly like the male side, but as I like grew up, like he would take me to all the UCLA games and then like he would have me like watch like the league. And then so I think once I like new people who were playing in the league, it became easier to like watch it because it's like, oh, you get to watch your friends. But I think also like knowing there was a league, it like helped me with my drive, like in like even before college, because it's like, okay, like I want to play pro, and like knowing that was there, like it's like a goal you can achieve. So I think, yeah, it was super helpful. And then, yeah, just watching all your like idols play is just super fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's awesome. All right,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Anthony, we'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, hi, it's Anthony Merced again. So you come from the West Coast, very different soccer vibe from here in the East Coast in viewing habits, in tactics, styles, or even players that flow through East and West Coast. What has been different than what you've been used to on the West Coast to here on the East Coast?
Are you asking just soccer or like
Well, soccer wise, whether it be viewing or just like, Juan Carlos being, Spanish or, from Spain, the influences between the two, are there any differences or is it the same?
um I don't know if it's that much of a difference. I did like choose to come to Gotham because I loved like Juan's, like what I saw, how he had the team play, and just in the talks I had with him. So that was a big reason for me coming here. Um, for the differences, I'm not sure. I feel like I've been able to like fit in here with like the players and the girls. So I don't know if I can speak on there being a big difference, but yeah.
Sean, go ahead.
Thank you. So your first game was the most recent game. What was, if you could pinpoint, say one thing, the biggest difference between that and both college and the international games that you've been in?
The biggest thing, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Okay, the medium-sized thing. Anything, throw me, come on, give me something. Work with me here.
I mean, obviously, like the amount of people watching you play in college, we like the stands were like smaller, so sometimes it felt like there were a lot of people, but being able to play in front of that many people is like it obviously creates like a sense of like pressure, but for me, I like try to turn that into excitement. So like just being able to like go out there and be like, oh, like I can show them what I can do in front of that many people is like for me like exciting and awesome.
Jenna, go ahead.
Thank you. So of course, dropping points against Chicago at home, and in this league, it's so funny because you guys could be, third in the table, and here comes Chicago at the bottom of the table. But any given day, that's kind of like what happens in the NWSL. So, going into this game against Racing, another team that's kind of towards the bottom of the standings, kind of what is the mentality of the team, knowing that this is an opportunity where you can pick up those 3 points, and seeing that the shield race is starting to become a little bit clearer, but also very, very tight at the top. So what are just kind of some of the feelings around the team and some of the plans to make sure you come back with all 3 points?
Yeah, I think before every game, like regardless of who the opponent is, we like come at it the same. Like we're coming for the 3 points, we're gonna win, regardless of who it is. So yeah, I think we have that same feeling. We're prepared, we're ready, we've trained hard, we've done our scouting. So yeah, I think we're all super excited to just go out there, give it our all, and get those 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck. Thank you so much for your time, Sofia.
Up next, we'll go back to Anthony.
All right, great. Last question from me. Just on your preparation game to game, obviously being so young and sometimes just being a substitute, mentally and physically, how are you preparing, a day or so before a game, especially when you have to do such strenuous travel as NWSL asks of their players?
Yeah, just like being disciplined, prioritizing the small things. So going to bed on time, eating correctly, and then also staying mentally focused. I mean, for me, I like to do a lot of like imagery and visualization. Sorry, big word. But yeah, just especially yeah, how you talked about like being a sub, like you just have to be ready because you don't know when you're gonna go in. So sometimes it can be easy to like get off track. But yeah, doing like having a routine for me is really helpful.
Awesome. And we'll wrap things up with Sean.
Again, thank you. So you had stated earlier that you had watched the league more interested in the league upon seeing people that, I'm guessing opponents, teammates, and just others that you may have known of note. In the past, the players were subjected to the draft. You were the first class coming out that was not. One team, I would say infamously, made a number of draft picks, didn't keep one of them. Your team had one from the previous year and moved the player on. How did that change your mentality, your thinking, anticipation, or anything, as now you're approaching it saying, okay, I could wind up anywhere in a number of cities? Or wait, now you don't exactly get to pick and choose because it's also dependent upon who wants you. But now you have a little more control because no matter who wants you, if you don't want to go, no, you're not stuck in that this team kind of has your rights at this point. So how did that change your approach, your thinking? Did you find it more exciting, a little more worrisome, empowered? How did that change your feeling and thinking coming to time?
Yeah, I think the aspect of having more control in the draft was something that I liked more. I had another year left at school because I had only done 3 years. So, and I had finished my degree, so I felt prepared to play. So I kind of told my agents, I was like, if I'm like, if anyone wants me, I'm excited. So, yeah, and then Gotham, and that was a team I was interested in. So it worked out well for me. But yeah, I think definitely being able to kind of be able to choose where you want to go, or if there's somewhere that wants you and you're not interested, you can say no. So having that power, I think, is empowering, as you said.